Hello, dear friends. My name is Papa Mayele. Today, we are going to hear an ancient fable from a country called South Africa, which talks about the dark lines that you see on the cheetah's face. Being lazy is bad, but being lazy and greedy is a more terrible combination. This story is centered around a lazy guy called Vusi, who spent his days dreaming about food at Umqombothi rather than working at having an honest living. Umqombothi, by the way, is a South African traditional beer made from maize malt, sorghum malt, yeast, and water. So sit back and listen to this fascinating story.
Many years ago, there was a lazy hunter called Vusi. Hunting was never an easy task to do, but Vusi just never liked to put in the effort. He literally had to force himself out of his slumber every day, just so he could get something that would silence his stomach for a few hours each day. And most of those days brought about tiny tidbits he came across or insect grubs. Very rarely did he bump into freshly slaughtered meat that was abandoned after a meal, or an animal that had died of a disease, which he knew was an abomination to even look at, not to talk of eating. But he didn't care, just so he could eat, right? So for this reason, other hunters never went on escapades with him. He was just too much of a burden, and he would slow their work down. He, on the other hand, had also tried stealing from them once in a while, but was even so sluggish at that he always got caught. He was therefore a loner and was angry most of the time. What else can a hungry man be? Vusi spent most of his days relaxing under a gum tree, chewing on a piece of long grass and looking over the vast African landscape while wondering where his next meal would come from. On days like these, he would dream of eating a hefty piece of meat, tenderized in a brown hearty stew with onions, carrots and potatoes, boiled in a big pot on the fire and washing it down with large gulps of Umqombothi. All these thoughts, however, just made him hungrier. He, looking at the fat Springbok grazing in the distance, also did not make his situation any easier. He watched them with hungry admiration and wished over and over again that he could have their meat without having to move an inch. While he continued gazing at the delectable animals, one of the Springbok ignorantly wandered away from the rest of the herd, looking to graze on tastier grass. Unfortunately, a female cheetah was stalking the animals silently in the grass and jumped forward to catch its prey. The Springbok tried its best to escape, but because it was so close by and was caught unaware, it was no match for the cheetah's speed and only managed to run a few steps before the cheetah pounced on it. The rest of the herd quickly scattered away, not waiting to find out what had happened to one of its own. The Springbok struggled feebly with the cheetah, but was of course quickly overpowered by her strength and eventually succumbed. The hunter watched the whole process with keen eyes and saw the cheetah proudly drag her prize over to a nearby bush, where 3 of the most adorably beautiful cubs came out to meet her. Of course, they started feasting on the meat almost immediately. Vusi watched the whole scene with acute envy in his eyes, wishing a hunter would also bring him a meal while he relaxed all day. All of a sudden, a wicked idea sprung into his head as quickly as the cheetah had caught the Springbok.
Why not speak to Mama Cheetah so that she too can also hunt for me. Of course that won't work, silly,
he thought to himself.
You'll just end up as dinner. Try and steal some of the meat? But only a little will remain after they're done, and you'll get hungry again. So that won't work either. Oh, wait a minute. Why not steal one of the cubs and train it how to hunt for me? Yes, that's it. I'll wait for Mommy Dearest to leave the area for another hunting escapade and make my move.
He smiled wickedly to himself and already started licking his lips in delight, feeling like the cleverest person in the world. When the sun began to set down and pour a calming orange light over the earth, Mama Cheetah hid her cubs in the bush and set out to go to the nearby stream for a drink of water. Vusi monitored her every movement and quickly went to the bushes to look for her cubs. There he found them, 3 cute bundles of joy, who stopped their play and looked at him curiously. They had never seen a human before and were therefore not afraid to run away or attack him. Vusi picked up one cub and then changed his mind to pick up the other, then changed his mind again and picked the other. He became so undecided and was afraid Mama Cheetah may find him there because time was running out. He therefore decided to steal all the cubs, thinking that he would do better to have them all. 3 are surely better than 1. Is that not so? Mama Cheetah came by half an hour later to come upon a trampled and destroyed bush with her cubs having disappeared. Mama Cheetah was at first so confused that she didn't know what to do. She then frantically went all over looking for her cubs. When she realized that they were gone, she started crying. She wept and wept and wept until she could cry no longer. For 3 whole days she looked for her cubs and still could not find them. When she felt tears in her eyes again, she would weep once more, bearing her loss and sorrows in streams of tears. So the days and nights went by, searching for her loved ones, but to no avail. King Mlambo loved taking late evening strolls and was taking one such walk, drinking in the splendor of the setting sun, when he came across a weeping cheetah. Because he was well versed with the ways of the animal kingdom and had even brokered peace between the 2 worlds, he was well respected not only in his village but amongst the animals as well. So he asked Mama Cheetah what had made her so sad and downcast. She recounted the story to him sorrowfully and even took him back to the bush where she had last seen her babies. King Mlambo knew that what had happened was not ordinary. Something or somebody must have been involved in the cub's disappearance. With the help of Dog, King Mlambo tracked down the thief's scent and discovered that it was Vusi who stole Mama Cheetah's babies. Word soon got out within the village of what Vusi had done. Not only was he a thief, he had also broken the traditions of the tribe. Everyone knew that hunting was supposed to occur based on a hunter's skill and strength, and anything apart from that was surely a dishonor. The villagers were extremely angry and disappointed with Vusi's behavior, that they persuaded King Mlambo to banish Vusi and drive him far away from the village. The king gave Mama Cheetah back her cubs that were gratefully reunited with their mother. But because Cheetah had cried so much, her tears had formed dark lines on her cheeks, and that is where they remain till this day.
So there you have it, dear friends. You now know why the cheetah's cheeks are stained. Thank you for joining me today, and I would really appreciate it if you could click the subscribe button and share this video with your family and friends. Thank you to all those who keep on supporting this channel. See you next time.